is Jeff Koinange live tonight, coming on the heels of that fiasco at the Langata Primary School. It's only fair we keep talking about the story, because as I keep saying, we have to keep talking, because the moment we stop talking is the moment we start fighting. You know the images, you've seen the pictures, you know the story. The story is still unfolding. Here's the latest. Cabinet Secretary for the Interior, Major General Joseph Kaiseri, actually went to the school, apologized. He sent National Youth Service to go and restore the wall. Everything seems to be back to normal. Looks like the government got it on this one. But did it have to come to that? On the show tonight, two young men who are on opposite sides of this discussion. But I tell you, it's our future. They are our future. And they are as outspoken as they are a part of this whole equation. Dennis Itumbi is the Director of Digital Diaspora at State House. He speaks for the government tonight. And in the middle, the man in the middle, the activist himself. He was at the scene. He's been accused of coaxing, encouraging the children to riot, to go up against the police. You know him as Boniface. Boniface Mwangi, the activist himself. We're going to try and be as civil as we can, gentlemen. As civil as we can. I know, Bonnie, you're ready to unleash. Dennis, let's try and be as civil as we can so that we can have a good conversation. By the way, Twitter handles @Ole Itumbi, @Boniface Mwangi, @Koinange Jeff. The hashtag is JKL. If I'm going to have to use this, you know I will. Let's get the show going. Gentlemen, welcome to the show, first of all. Bonnie, good to see you.
Good to see you, Jeff.
Director, well done. Thanks for coming. Everybody on Twitter was saying Dennis wouldn't show up.
Well, I'm here.
You're here.
That's a tweet.
Okay, I'll give you the first chance. Bad move on Monday. Any way you look at it, it was a bad move. Whoever made the call to tear gas the kids, it was a bad move.
There are several issues to that thing. But yes, first of all, as government, and you've gone public, in fact, even long before the Cabinet Secretary in charge of the Interior, the State House Twitter handle was very clear on that and said, Langata Primary School pupils, we are sorry. So there is absolutely no excuse for the kind of thing that happened on Monday. Wrong, unacceptable. Let's start from there. First of all, it was wrong.
Good. Bonnie, you were there.
Yes.
They accused you of giving these kids placards, of encouraging them to stone the cops or throw stones at the cops who were there. They accused you of being at the forefront of it, Bonnie. What do you say?
So let me say this. I was not there. When the tear gas was thrown, I was not there.
You had left or?
No. I wasn't there. I came at the very moment they threw the tear gas. You can look at all the footage, all the pictures, every single photo, you won't see me. It was just pupils holding leaves peacefully. It was break time they were going to try and access their playground. I was never there. If you find me there, you can say that I should never speak again in this country. What about
the placards?
The placards came later. This is what we did actually. I knew very well if I show up on time, the cops are going to either arrest me or make it troublesome. What happened actually when in the morning, the cops closed the gate. There was no access for any activist or any concerned citizen or former students to get into the school. So they were all outside. When break time came, the students, in their own volition, left the school, went outside the gate where they were tear gassed. If you look at all the footage, there were no activists. It was a group of students trying to tell the officers, open the gate for us because it's our playground.
So when did it turn ugly?
When the police threw tear gas. And there was no ugly. It was only one side of the ugly. It was only the police reacting and tear gassing young kids.
But I saw students pushing the wall. They kept pushing the wall so that they could collapse it.
Do you know students almost died because there was a stampede caused by the government? The tear gas caused them to leave. If you look at the footage of thereafter, kids were running all over, falling into the ditch, others almost hit by the car. I was in the hospital today. I met Lucy Njeri, who was injured. She's been in the hospital for the last 2 days. The government hasn't visited. The minister hasn't visited. Nkaseri hasn't sent his apologies or even a letter or even a bouquet of flowers. There was a bill to be paid. I paid the bill. I did shopping, took the mother home. So the government is actually playing it halfway. If you want to apologize, go and apologize the whole way. There was a girl in hospital today, and she went home very traumatized because of what the government did. And let me tell you, Look at the footage. There was no activist at that gate. There was one guy, a tear gas was thrown, and was trying to throw it in the ditch so that he can actually kill its smoke. But he got his fingers burnt, and then he dropped it.
Okay, Dennis, at the end of the day, it was a dumb move by whoever did that move. But we still don't know this one question. Who is the developer? Who owns the Western Hotel, which is adjacent to Langata Primary School?
I don't know about the hotel. I mean, that's a different issue. When I was coming here, we were going to discuss the bit of the land, and that's what I prepared for.
Okay.
However, I have because I knew I was preparing for this show, I went through the internet to see what would be there in public domain. And I noticed a case that has been filed in court by a person who claims to own that land. And they tabled a letter of allotment. I will leave these documents with you. He tabled, and these are, anyway, I don't even have to deal with you. Just tell your court reporters to go to court to the registry and they will get just like I got them because they're public documents. He's tabled the planning of that area. He's tabled,
Who's this guy?
he's tabled, I'm coming there. He's tabled fee receipt of what he has paid since 1994, put a record from 1994. Then there's even a letter as recent as 14th of January 2015 addressed from the office of the governor of Nairobi to the chief, signed by the chief lands officer for the county and addressed the chairman land commission explaining the history of the whole thing. There is a title deed attached for the land. There is an approval by the county government for the person to build the wall, and blah blah blah, other very many issues that I would leave to you. But crucially to note, the name of the person who owns it is not something that has been off the public domain. It's been on the public domain. The Nation, Saturday Nation on January 10, 2015, published a name. And it says on this story written by Otiato Guguyu, Nairobi County Council officials played a key role in rushing the approval of a multi-story shopping mall adjacent to Langata Primary School, the Saturday Nation can reveal. According to documents, officials gave a go-ahead to Airport Housing Company owned by Mayank Singh to set up a perimeter wall on December 12 while the school was closed. Correspondence, blah, blah, blah. It's a big story. That is one story. There are tens of stories, and I have newspaper cuttings here to prove that the matter is not off public domain. It's in public domain. That's it.
So you're saying this Singh guy allegedly owns this property, but
according to his own words.
How does the government rely on newspaper cuttings?
Not only that, I heard today that Cabinet Secretary for Lands, Mama Charity Ngilu, says that the school is getting the title next week for this land.
That is why I'm going to. You know, if you allow me to prosecute a case and then you get in, it will allow an understanding of the whole thing.
Go on.
This tabling of the documents is by and it started by saying it's an individual who has moved to court. So the face of, quote unquote, the grabber is out there in public. Then number two, and the company thereof, which you can get, I'm sure a company registers all the directors. If you do a search, you're able to get the directors of it. So that is on public record. Secondly, both National Lands Commission and the CS in charge of lands went public, not today, yesterday, and actually a day before yesterday, and said the land belongs to Langata Primary School. So, given those two circumstances, there is a group in court, and there is a minister who is in government who has clearly said that the land belongs to Langata Primary School. I will go with the minister for saying it belongs there. I'll go with the Minister for Interior who said, we are sorry, this land belongs to you. I'll go with the NYS who are now making sure the land is appropriate for play for the children. But that said, there are still people in court who are doing it. So when Boniface asks, when you ask me, because your question was, who is the grabber?
Yes.
I do not know. But the documents in court show who it is.
So let me tell you, the government claims it doesn't know, they don't know who the grabber is. That's given. So who knows who the grabber is? Who should know who the grabber is?
And more importantly, let me ask this question, gentlemen. And I don't know.
Because I want us to go back to Western Hotel. So
yes.
Western Hotel, 2011, there's a footage online of Deputy President Ruto touring the hotel, showing Evelyn from Citizen how the hotel looks like. He loves construction. That's the Deputy President in that particular hotel.
It's unfortunate that Boni is actually presenting something that is edited and reposted on social media. The interview was done, just a minute, the interview was done in 2011. Was there a hotel called Weston in Kenya in 2011?
It was being built. But
So
let
the
me
thing is,
continue. Let me finish as well, and then you can do your rebuttal, my friends. There's a guy who says he wants the hotel, Patrick Osoro, a nominee of the Deputy President. Patrick Osoro was part of the Youth for Canon 92. Everywhere you see Osoro, you see Ruto. And every Osoro is and Ruto is, destruction follows. That includes Osoro, Ruto, Jirongo, Nyamoya, part of that Youth for Kano 92. But not only that, the deputy president has been involved in many, many land grabbing cases. The Ngong Forest, which the key witness for that particular case was appointed by the deputy president before she testified into a parastatal. She was given a job before she testified. There's that one. The land grabbing in Eldoret for the IDP, processional way, where the president uses to go to State House, that was, Ruto was holding that. When Na came to power, he returned it. So
Ahmed Nasir, the Grand Mullah, has come out and said that the deputy president has nothing to do with it.
He has a front. The same way, I'm so sure there are not many title deeds in this country with Uhuru's name, because there are always nominees and companies. That's how it works. When Moi was president, he grabbed a lot, he stole a lot,
how can
and
you
had
prove
nominees.
How can you prove it?
You know,
because
let's even ask a more direct.
Please ask.
A more direct question.
Yes.
Boniface claims to have all these details and facts.
Yes, I
Has
do.
he lodged a simple case?
I do have the Ndungu report which the president has. Guess whose name is there? Mamangina Kenyatta, Odinga family.
You see now,
the what?
just
The
before-
report,
just
it's
before-
in the public domain. It's the Ndungu report. There's a copy at State House. There's a copy online.
What about
Kenyans-
this particular case?
This particular case? Which one? The one for...
This one, Western and Langata.
The government says the land belongs to the school, but the same government is not willing to prosecute the grabber, because the grabber is so powerful, they were able to deploy 100 police officers to deal with school kids.
Okay, let me respond to that.
Go.
First of all, before Boniface had his demonstration and created the Facebook page that was used to mobilize for
Wasn't
the
mine.
demonstration. But you posted it on January 15 and said you're going to have an Occupy Playground thing.
Yes.
And I'm going to show you that. When you started and said what the purpose of the demonstration would be what, and you invited people to join you as you go towards that. That's a fact, and I can show you that if you're disputing.
I don't
Number
dispute
two,
that.
Yeah, second. So if you're saying it's not your demo, it's neither here
It's
nor
not
there.
mine,
Number
it's
two,
Kenya's.
Number two, the issue of the Ndongo land report.
Yes.
And mentioning names here and there.
It's there.
Most of those guys have gone to court. Like he has mentioned Mamangina. Mamangina went to court and won that case. But Boniface, in his pure ignorance, just a minute, in his pure ignorance, comes here on the bench and just tables a name because it's friendly for him. He has no idea that case was prosecuted by the High Court.
No.
You know, it's very important. And it's not only Mamangina who moved to court. About 10 other guys moved to court. I would want Boniface, instead of just throwing things here, to give us facts. What is the status of the 10 cases about the Ndongorand report? The Ndongorand, by the way, the author of the Ndongorand report, the chairman, who was Ndongo, went to a TV station in this country and was interviewed about the Ndongorand report. And he said 3 crucial things. One of them is that the report is not comprehensive. He gave it 4 investigations. What he should be asking is which is the unit that was formed in CID to do the investigations and what is the status of their progress. And it's the same thing he did for the demos. Before they came for the demos, the government had started the investigation. In fact, a day to the demonstrations, 2 days before the demonstration, the chairman of the National Land Commission went to the school and said all the preliminary documents show that the playground belongs to the school.
Right.
And then he said he would want time because the next day, for the next 2 days, they were going to Mombasa to clean up the land registry, and then they would come back and give a verdict. So
okay,
Boniface
let me tell
interfered
you
with that. Now he's also saying, let's not, just a minute. He's now also saying, let's act on Ndongorand report without investigations. The case goes to court, the case collapses. Boniface comes back here and now starts saying,
the case has not collapsed.
It has not collapsed. Let the process go through.
Okay, why don't we stick to this one? Would you file a case as to who owns the Western? Would you do that?
The case is going to go to court. We are going to find we know Osoro claims to own the hotel. That's going to happen. Let's go back to the land grabbing and all that and Ndungu report. He claims there's doing preliminary. Let's go back to, what's the name of the guy? Swazuri again.
Swazuri.
I was there on Friday when Swazuri said the land belongs to the school. And said if the land belongs to the school, they're going to bring down the wall. And we thought he was going to bring down the wall over the weekend. He was meant to consult with Kidero, and they consulted, but they never brought down the wall. I got a call on Sunday from someone from Swazuri's office, and they told me there's no goodwill in the government to bring down the wall before the school opened. The school's open. So if the government knew from the word go the land belongs to the school, why did they not act? The president came out yesterday strongly saying, condemning the act and saying that where was the minister, where was Swazuri, where was the president in all this matter? Because a whole month, it's been the national dailies, everyone has been talking about it. Why did you not act before then?
Boniface, Boniface impresses me. He speaks about the law passionately and at the same time speaks against the law passionately. Before the president acts on matters land, and I invite him to read the law, let him read the Lands Act. Before the president is called upon to act on such issues, there are departments and associations that act. And I will just explain to him. So Azuri was on the ground.
I was there as well with Azuri.
I know it's not you. You are not taking action on reverting back the land for government.
Are you guys taking action?
Can you just, you asked a question, allow yourself to be answered. Or you answer yourself, I keep quiet.
No, I can answer myself.
Okay,
you
answer
guys
yourself.
took no action.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then
Okay,
Because let me tell you, it took the tear gassing of kids for the president to speak, for Nkeseri to speak, for Momangilo to speak.
Okay, let me ask you this, guys, and as we go into break.
Yeah.
If the teacher strike had not ended and kids hadn't gone back to school on Monday, what would have happened?
There will be no playgrounds for the kids.
Hypothetical.
Hypothetical. Let's take a break, come back, gentlemen, because I know this conversation is just warming up. Goodness gracious me. Dennis Itumbi, Director, Digital Diaspora at State House, is in the house, as is Boniface Mwangi, Mr. Activist himself. Twitter handles at Ole Itumbi, at Boniface Mwangi, at Koinange Jeff. The hashtag is JKL. Keep tweeting, keep talking. Take a break. JKL. We'll be back in a moment. Oh my.